Gold Squad TV. It ain't looking good for the Celtics, man. It ain't looking good. Tomorrow night we play the Thunder in Boston. The Thunder have lost many games, pretty much like last 16, 17 straight games. However, we will not have Jayson Tatum or Kemba Walker tomorrow. Kemba Walker has a strain in his back. And don't know if he's going to play the next game against Charlotte. Jayson Tatum is out with a knee impingement or ankle impingement. It's bad timing, man. Like my man's always my man Hakeem, the homie, always says that Brad Stevens might still get another chance at coaching the team next year, due to the fact that they could use these injuries as an excuse to basically say we didn't have a full roster the majority of the year. You know, we just had a 6-game winning streak or 7-game winning streak, 6-game winning streak, and then beat the Warriors, and then completely fell off the face of the earth against Chicago, beat the Phoenix team that was really good, and then lost to Charlotte by a lot. And kind of makes me upset that Brad Stevens might still have his job next year or the year after. Who knows? All right, so let me explain why though. I don't hate the man. I do think he's a decent coach, but he's a collegiate type of coach. Doesn't really motivate the guys. But I think the more important thing is his X's and O's aren't NBA. They're not really NBA approved. You have 3 stars on your team. You have Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kemba Walker. And you're asking those guys to be playmakers in your system. Now, that means you're not running plays for them, and you're expecting them to just drive to the rim, drive to the hole and kick out. Drive to the hole and kick out. No ISO, no one-on-one. I'm sorry, but no NBA team in history has ever asked their superstars or their stars that won a title to drive to the rim and kick it out, and that being the only way we can win a game. That is a lack of adjustments on Brad's part, which I've been saying all season, that Brad won't deviate from the system, which is why Kyrie left. And if you notice, Kyrie doesn't really say anything to Brad Stevens whenever we play, because Kyrie doesn't respect Brad Stevens. More importantly, I don't respect Brad Stevens, only in the sense to where, how do you have 3 all-stars on your team and you never run individual plays for them? Part of what makes a coach great is being able to deal with egos and massage egos, but at the same time be able to get those guys the ball. There's a lacking of a pecking order that's been going on for a very long time. You know, the only time you ever see Brad Stevens ever run a play for any of the stars on the team is when it's an out-of-bounds play towards the end of the game. Other than that, during the game, he doesn't run Jayson Tatum to the post enough, take advantage of his mixed match. Doesn't run Brown to the post enough to take advantage of mixed matches. He damn near runs Kemba Walker over curl screens instead of allowing him to go to work. And then you mean to tell me that's the only way you can win? Like, when I hear Brian Scalabrine ever talk about, and Brian Scalabrine has a right down to like ISO ball because he stunk. He was never good at ISO ball. Outside of playing some Joe Schmo at a YMCA that he could easily beat, because, you know, obviously NBA players retired could beat a regular Joe Schmo. But outside of beating a couple of Joe Schmoes, Brian Scalabrine was never an ISO guy. You can't tell guys that have do-it-myself toolboxes to say, nah, we don't really care about your 2 boxes. Your 2 boxes aren't needed. We need to just push the ball up, drive to the rim, and kick out. That's all we're going to do. And that's how we're going to win games. Teams are going to defend that the same way you would defend a guy trying to go ISO. So now you're creating no space. And teams adjust to this type of shit. Which is why we never seem to go on winning streaks long enough to even stiff a cup of coffee being over 500 for a long ass time. Other than the fact that the players, yes, some of them have had injuries. I also feel that Brad Stevens is responsible for the system not being able to evolve to where it helps the players that are the stars. Sure, it could help Semi Ojeleye. Sure, it could help Grant Williams, maybe. Sure, it could help, sure, it could help some guys coming off the bench. But you don't give leadership to bench players. You don't tell Carson Edwards you're going to be the leader of the team. You tell Jayson Tatum, Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, and even Marcus Smart. Those guys are your leaders. And you don't run plays for them. I see Marcus Smart. Mind you, this is nothing new, but Marcus Smart jacked up a bunch of threes that weren't even close to going in the middle of him having a run, like a self-posed run because nobody else is scoring. The more shots you shoot, the more it gives teams opportunity for rebounds and to run up and down the court and get fast breaks on you. Brooklyn just beat the Celtics, and literally outscored the Celtics 33-0 on fast break points. But anyway, not to go on a tangent. If I already did, I apologize. But Celtics will be without Jayson Tatum and Kemba Walker for tomorrow's game versus the OKC Thunder. We should still win it, but stranger shit has happened with this team. Gold Squad TV.